Hello and welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Club. My name is Ololade. So people get sick all the time, but why is it that others seem to bounce back quickly than some, even though they have been exposed to the same stress, the same bugs, and the same environment? So today we're going to talk about resilience. The body's ability to withstand stress, infection, and environmental challenges, and why the gut plays a central role in the immune strength. So this is not about dieting, it's not about perfection either. It's about understanding how the body actually works so we can support the body wisely. So health is the ability to cope, recover, and keep going when stress shows up. And stress on its own could include things like emotional stress, poor sleep, ultra-processed food, environmental toxins, viruses and bacteria, and the likes. So remember, the immune system is an entire network of cells, tissues, and organs that protect the body from pathogens, which are bacteria and viruses that try to invade the body and cause illnesses. So the immune system works really hard to prevent this. So let's look at our gut microbiome. So trillions of bacteria live in our gut and they weigh about 2 kg. About 70 to 80% of immune activity happens around the gut. So what do? They help to digest our food. They help to train our immune system. They help to regulate inflammation, and they help to defend against pathogens. Remember the bacteria and viruses that try to invade the body to cause illnesses. So food in the gut is not truly inside the body yet. It only gets inside the body once it is absorbed through the gut lining. And that gut lining is like the gatekeeper. It decides what is allowed in and what stays out. So in other words, that's why the gut is one of our most important immune defense systems. It's where our body constantly checks, it filters and protects us from things coming in from the outside world. But did you know that our gut health shapes our mood, shapes our immunity, and shapes our energy? So let's see how that happens. So the gut doesn't work on its own. It's in a constant two-way communication with other organs. And this communication is called axis. So let's look at the first one, which is the gut-brain axis. So the gut and the brain are in constant conversation. And there are two things to note. Number one, neurotransmitters. These are chemical messengers that allow our brain, our gut, and our nervous system to communicate with each other. 2. Serotonin. They are the most important neurotransmitters and they are often called feel-good chemical. They help to regulate our mood by helping to stabilize it. They help with emotional resilience. They help us tolerate stress, help us regulate sleep, they help with digestion, and they help to keep our appetite at bay. So what happens is that the gut produces neurotransmitters like serotonin, and the gut bacteria send signals to the brain through the nerves and the immune system. And any inflammation in the gut can affect how the brain functions. So when the gut is out of balance, the brain can receive stress signals, which can show up as low mood, show up as anxiety, as brain fog, or changes in emotional resilience. So let's look at the gut-lung axis. So the gut and the lungs are connected through immune system. So a large part of the immune activities starts in the gut, and the gut bacteria helps to train the immune cells on how to react strongly. So when our gut balance is reduced, immune responses can become poorly regulated, and this can lead to inflammation of the lungs. So this helps to explain why people with gut conditions often have, asthma and things like respiratory infections and the like. So the gut influences how well the lungs defend and recover. The gut-liver axis. So everything absorbed from the gut passes directly to the liver. So the liver relies on gut health to process toxins efficiently. And the gut bacteria helps to break down food and chemicals before they reach the liver. If the gut barrier is weakened, more inflammatory compounds can get to the liver, which makes detoxification harder and can get our hormones imbalanced. So gut health really impacts how well the body processes, filters, and clears waste through the liver as well. So you can see that the gut communicates with the entire body, and this explains why gut imbalance is linked to things like skin issues, eczema, acne, and all sorts. Things like joint pain, autoimmune conditions, respiratory illnesses, and the likes. So the gut sends instructions to the brain, to the lungs, to the liver, and when the gut is balanced, the whole body functions better. So how does modern living disrupt the gut, and what can we do about it? So firstly, what is microbial diversity? It is having a wide mix, that is an array of helpful bacteria that make our gut and immune system more resilient. So factors that reduce microbial diversity include processed foods. These foods have been stripped of their natural fiber and nutrients, and they often contain additives. Additives in food disrupts the gut bacteria. So instead of feeding beneficial microbes, they promote imbalance and weaken the immune resilience. So be sure to check packaging and exclude food with additives from your shopping picks. Low fiber diet. Fiber is the primary fuel for beneficial gut bacteria. So without enough fiber, the microbes, they shrink in number and diversity, and then they reduce the production of protective compounds that support the immune system. Too much use of antibiotics, unnecessary use, it reduces the microbial diversity, which in turn makes the immune system less resilient. Excessive cleaning and sanitization and use of antibacterial cleaning products. This reduces the immune training and makes immune system less tolerant over time. So let's look at food as information for the immune system. So we really want to focus on these superfoods, like predominantly plant-based foods, protein and fat, and a wide variety of colors. So let's look at the following. Number one, fiber. So within fiber, we have whole grains, which could include things like foods like brown rice, black rice, red rice, oats. The best are rolled oats or steel cut oats. So things like millet, quinoa, and barley are fantastic. So whole grains are great because they still have their fiber and nutrients intact, which is what feeds our gut bacteria. So still within fiber, we have legumes. So these include foods like lentils. The red, the green, and the brown are fantastic. Chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, split beans, black-eyed peas. They're all delicious when cooked. And it's important to know that legumes are one of the most powerful foods for increasing microbial diversity. Vegetables. So vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, parsnips, okra, courgette or zucchini, peppers, onions, garlic leeks are great. So the more colors you eat, the more types of gut bacteria you support. Seeds. Seeds like chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, hemp seeds are great. They provide fiber and healthy fats, and they strengthen the gut lining. So in conclusion, if you want a resilient immune system, build your meals around whole grains, around legumes, around vegetables and seeds, because these are the foods that feed our gut and strengthen our defenses. Number 2, prebiotics. Prebiotics are the food for our good gut bacteria. So they don't feed us, they feed the bacteria that protect us. So foods like garlic, onions, leeks, broccoli are perfect. Number 3, polyphenols. They are protective plant compounds that help the gut bacteria diversify and thrive. So they are the ones that give plants their deep colors and that bitterness and that antioxidant power. So the gut bacteria loves these ones, and they use them as a benefit to the immune system, to the brain, to the metabolism as well. So feed on berries, dark grapes, cherries, black rice, nuts and seeds. Feed on them. So when we talk about immune system, we like to think that the goal is to avoid stress or germs or challenges altogether. But in reality, all of this stress is unavoidable. So every day we are exposed to emotional stress, environmental toxins, microbes, the viruses and the bacteria. We're exposed to dietary stress from ultra-processed foods, left, right and center. So now resilience is how well the body can respond and recover when these exposures have been eliminated. So why the gut is central to resilience? Our gut is where the external world meets the internal world. So every time we eat, every time we drink or swallow, our body must decide what is safe to absorb and what should be kept out. So why do the daily food choices matter? So food is not just fuel, food is information. So every meal sends a signal that either nourishes our beneficial bacteria or starves them and weakens the diversity. So over time, the repeated choices we make shape the strength of our gut barriers and shapes the balance of the immune response, and also shapes the ability to cope with stress and illnesses. So this is why daily healthy choices and habits matter more than occasional healthy eating. So now it's really important to know that our immune strength is not about avoiding stress. It's about building that resilience. So when we nourish the gut, we're not just supporting, digestion. We're strengthening the body's ability to cope, to adapt, and to thrive in this challenging environment that we found ourselves. So, it is a mutual relationship. You feed the gut by nourishing it, and then it protects us. So until next time, take care and build that resilience.